Hello again, welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Jacob de Graaf. I am the owner of Modern Folk Embroidery. If you're new here, welcome. If you're back here, welcome back. I am back much quicker than I had thought I would be, because I realized yesterday that today is October 4th, which is World Animal Day. And I'm a big animal lover. And I thought, like, you know what, it's a great chance to show one new design and one updated design. I'll start with the new design, actually. So a couple of days ago, I released a design called Here Be Dragons, and I got a lot of positive feedback from it. And as I uploaded my video, the next morning I went through my comments, and a couple of people actually asked me, would you consider making an accompaniment piece with a lion? And the weird thing is that when I actually got up in the morning, that morning I thought like, I should really do a lion design. So I went through the comments, read 2 comments, people that said like, can you please design a lion? And I was like, well, you've asked for it, I'll give it to you. So without further ado, Hic sunt leonis, here be lions. If you have not yet seen my previous video, I would recommend checking that one out, because I talk a little bit about why on old maps there were dragons on the edges of the known world, but that actually the words that were used was not here be dragons, but hic sunt leonis, or a variety of forms of that, so here be lions. And I thought it would be quite fun to do both those patterns together. So the dragon and the lion are facing each other. For the dragon, I made a completely original design. It's not based on anything. It was based on heraldic imagery, of course, but the pattern itself is not an old pattern. Like the dragon is a very old pattern from the 1500s. The lion is brand new. It's designed fully by me. For the border, however, I went back to Bernard Jobin's books, and I found a really lovely border that didn't quite fit. So I had to sort of tinker a little bit with it to get it actually in the space that I wanted it to fit, because I wanted it to match with the original pattern. The other thing that I did with this one is put a few lilies in there, some French lilies, and like on old tapestries, a whole full background of flowers scattered all around, which is a bit like the mille fleurs patterns that you see on old tapestries. And I thought that would work really well. I think they work really nicely together. I can't wait to start stitching on that one, to be honest with you. But first, I have to finish my dragon piece, which I will show you a little update on. That's the Here Be Dragons as far as I have gotten. So I've made quite a bit of progress. I've been stitching a little bit these last few days. I've nearly finished the bottom of the border, and I've finished the wording Draconis, which I'm quite happy about, to be honest with you. So it's all good. It's getting there slowly. I hope today to finish the bottom border. I'm going to start stitching in a minute again. And it'll be a lot of fun to do that. But that's the new release. So that one is out in my shop as well. All the links are in the bottom of the description. Now, the reason that I've done a video today is not only just to tell you about the new design, partly it was, but as I said, it's World Animal Day, and yesterday I was in IKEA, and at the checkout, IKEAs are masters of manipulation, where you buy lots of stuff that you don't need at the checkout. But while we were there, they had just a few Christmas things stood on display, and they had this little fella. And I thought I would buy it so I could show it to you. It is a Christmas goat, or Yule Bokken, or Yule Bok, I should say. Yule Bokken actually is the Christmas goat. And I really love these little things. And I really like their history as well. It's basically a Christmas decoration now, made of straw, and you can either hang it in your tree or put it on a Christmas table or something like that. And it's a very, very cute little decoration, but it's got a history that goes back to pre-Christian and very pagan times, which is quite fascinating. In the period of winter, sort of the December-January period, the sun would start rising into the Capricorn. At least I think it rises in Capricorn, doesn't it? Not sure how that all works, but it was something with the sun traveling through Capricorn or entering Capricorn. And I really liked that. Basically, Capricorn is a mountain goat. So the goat was linked to old festivals as well, and it was seen as a bringer of good tidings for the new year. And basically they would sacrifice a kid goat, which is very sad, on World Animal Day, of course. But they would sacrifice a kid goat to sort of appease the gods and to have a year of plenty. And the interesting thing as well, that the word cornucopia, or horn of plenty, is also linked to basically that whole idea of the goat, of the Capricorn, which I didn't know before. But yes, so over time, slowly the goat was sort of taken into sort of Christian Christmas traditions, although it had these really pagan roots, and it kept sort of having these pagan roots. In Sweden and other Scandinavian countries, the Yule bock would be a human dressed up in a huge skin with a mask and horns and everything. And it was quite weird, malevolent figure as well. Sometimes it would sort of be quite scary. Sometimes it would demand gifts. They would perform in little troops, a little bit like wassailing in England, and go door to door. So there was lots of different traditions, different local traditions. But slowly over time, the role of the Christmas goat then changes, where instead of demanding Christmas gifts, the goat was actually delivering Christmas gifts. And he becomes a little bit like Father Christmas in that way, where he gives the children something nice, and usually a family member would be dressed up in a goat suit, knock on the door and present some gifts to the children. And over time, again, these traditions, they sort of disappear more and more and more. In Sweden and other countries, they have the tomte, like a sort of gnomes that bring gifts. So all these traditions, they keep changing, and the goat then becomes more of an ornament, a straw ornament that is still has that spirit of the Christmas idea with it. In Gävle, they have an enormous, since the 60s, an enormous straw goat that they build. And then it has been turned into a bit of a local sport to see when it is being set on fire, which is not the idea. But there's lots of weird traditions with the Christmas goat, and I really liked it. But now I'm talking about this Christmas goat, and you're probably thinking, like, why are you mentioning all of this? About 8 years ago, I did a design called Yule bocken, and it has always been really quite popular. And when I saw this little fella in IKEA, I was reminded again of this design, and I thought, like, I would love to go back to that design and just do a little bit of an update. It's not that I'm not happy with the old design, but I mean, 8 years is a long time. And I think as a designer, I've grown a bit as well. And I thought, like, you know what, I want to make a little update to this design. And I think I prefer this version of the pattern. Otherwise, I would never released it, of course. So this one is now in my shop. You can find it in the winter decorations selection of my shop. And but what I also wanted to let folks know, that if you have purchased the Yule bocken pattern in the past from my shop or my Etsy shop, then just write me an email and let me know the original order number if you can find that, and I will send you an updated version. And please let me know as well what your location is, if you need an A4 or a letter size version of it, or a pattern keeper version. I'll be happy to send those free of charge to people who have already purchased the old design. The goat itself has not changed at all. I've done a little bit of a negative with the border at the bottom. Instead of a positive border, I've changed it into a negative, and I made a nice little arch around it, and I think it ties the design a little bit better together. I'm going to keep it short today because I want to try and upload this so it goes live. It's about 10:30 this morning in the Netherlands, and I want to sort of get this all edited and up and live before noon, so it is actually live during World Animal Day. So I'll leave it at that for now. Those are the two sort of new-ish patterns. I'll be back very soon again with a Q&A episode, and perhaps with a little interview with someone very special. For now, have a lovely day. Take care of your little pets. Give them an extra hug today or a little treat. Maybe you can look into what you can do for a local shelter or something similar. But have a great day. Get some stitching done, and we will see each other very soon again. Bye-bye.